get delivered.
Welcome back. Perhaps Middletown coach Barry Blickenstaff best summed up last week's Middletown versus Walkersville boys basketball thriller when he said it was one heck of a high school basketball game. Well, coach, forget the high school part. This was as good as it gets regardless of the level, as these two longtime area rivals battled their way into double overtime before the Lions came back in the second extra period to earn an 88-85 win over the previously undefeated Knights before an enthusiastic crowd at Walkersville. The game was tied 10 times during regulation with 26 lead changes, as neither team was able to apply a knockout punch. Middletown had a 3.73-70 lead with seconds to go in the fourth quarter, but Walkersville's Adam Martin canned a last-second three-pointer to send the game into the first extra period. And in the first overtime, the Lions jumped out to an early 4-point lead. But the Knights' Jonathan DeGrange cashed in on a three-point play to cut the margin to one at 77-76. Following a Walkersville miss, Justin Rollinson went backdoor for a bucket to give Middletown a one-point lead. On the ensuing play, DeGrange was fouled corralling a rebound and made good on a pair of free throws to give Middletown an 80-77 advantage with under a minute to play. But the Lions' Jermaine Ballard knocked in a pair of foul shots, and then following a free throw by the Knights' Kevin Nicholson, Walkersville's Dave Peters stepped to the line in a one-on-one situation with only 1 second remaining to play. And the 6-foot senior calmly dropped both shots through the bucket to send the game into the second extra period. This time the visitors went up early at 85-81 on a drive by Rollinson and 2 DeGrange free throws. But Ballard came up big defensively for Walkersville, intercepting a pass and driving the lane for a bucket while getting fouled on the play. Ballard converted the three-point play opportunity, and the Lions were down only one at 85-84. Then with just 19 seconds remaining, Walkersville's Lucas Matesa nailed a baseline jumper to give the Lions an 86-85 lead. Middletown had one chance left with 5 seconds to play, but the Knights failed to convert the front end of a one-on-one situation, and Walkersville's Jason Rummel was fouled grabbing the rebound. Rummel then sank both free throw tosses to provide the final 88-85 margin of victory for the Lions. Adam Martin led the way for the victorious Lions with a game-high 26 points, including 4 trays from the three-point line. Jermaine Ballard added 21 to go with teammate Jason Rummel's 18 tallies. Middletown was led by John Bennett, who just missed a triple-double, finishing with 24 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 block shots. Bennett received lots of help from the Knights' front court tandem of Jonathan DeGrange and Justin Rollinson, who combined for 29 points, while the backcourt duo of Matt Diorsi and Mike Silverman added 13 and 12 points, respectively. The victory improved Coach Mike Mummer's Lions to 10-2 overall and gets them within 1 game of the first-place Knights in the MVAL race with a 7-2 mark. The defeat snapped an 11-game win streak for Barry Blickenstaff's Knights, who got back on the winning track later in the week with a 54-41 win over Williamsport. The Knights' record now stands at 12-1 overall and 8-1 in the Valley Conference. Now it's time for this week's Fredericktown Bank Play of the Week, which comes from that Middletown-Walkersville boys basketball nail-biter. There's only seconds to go in regulation with Middletown in control at 73-70 when the Lions' Adam Martin heaves a long-distance three-pointer just before time expires to send the game into overtime, where Walkersville was eventually able to subdue the Knights 88-85. Knocking Middletown from the ranks of the unbeaten while keeping the Lions in the MVAL race. This week's Fredericktown Bank Play of the Week. That's going to do it for this week's show. Before we go, we'd like to offer a special thanks to Coach Steve Kennedy and his St. John's at Prospect Hall Lady Viking basketball team